Hi, and welcome to the Kenward Trust Hope and Recovery podcast. Today I'm joined by some guests in here. I've got Carol, Janice, I've got Jane Humphrey, and I've got Tanya Long.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
and
you.
welcome to the podcast. So today, let me just explain to the people. Today we're going to look at Kenward Place, and Kenward Place is a commercial enterprise to support Kenward Trust. We have things like alpacas, archery, goats, and we do conferences and different functions, and we also have disc golf. So welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
And you brought a load of stuff here, which is great. So just tell us, what do you do for Kenward Place?
Well, we look after the animals that are based here, that get involved in the therapy, both with the residents and that are open to the public, so that the public can come and enjoy our lovely animals and contribute to the collections that we have for the residents' care.
Thank you. And Jane, you've brought a load of stuff here.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the alpacas?
Well, the alpacas, I mean, bless them, beautiful animals, and we have been able to then create all this beautiful merchandise from them. Purely their images are so beautiful. These things that we have in front of us are so popular with visitors who come and walk with the animals. The walks are just such a lovely experience where people have their alpaca, and by the end of the hour walk, they just pretty much fall in love with their alpaca. And then we've got the merchandise that sort of like, we've got the names there of specific ones, general pictures of them all. Everything is just very popular, and it's a nice memento of what we do with the animals here. We also have goats, but I don't think we've bought a furry goat.
No, we have a picture of our Gert.
Yes,
Gert.
Gertrude.
She's a darling.
Yes.
She's a sweetheart. She's one of the older members of our team, but she's really
Yes, very.
She's very special, isn't
yes,
she?
she is.
The artist, she's a friend of yours.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Julie Turner, a local artist, who created all these beautiful images and donated all of her time and her artwork for free. And it would be interesting to know just how much all of this has raised for Kenward, because she gave her time so willingly. Having done the 8 portraits for the alpacas, I then cheekily said, would you mind doing Gertrude and Daffodil Goat as well? And she did the goat portraits, so we've done very well out of Julie Turner. She's a star.
So this is...
That's our Gertrude.
That's Gertrude, is it?
Gertrude, yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
Tanya, tell me about Gertrude. What's she like?
Oh, she's gorgeous. She's no one knows how
soft
old she
spot.
is. Yeah,
No.
we don't know how old she is. She's
No.
rescue. I think they were abandoned here, both Gertrude and Daffodil, years before we came.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's lovely. She's very lovely manner. She gets arthritis, doesn't she? She can be
Yes.
quite stiff, but she still loves the public. She's very, kids can sort of give her a stroke, and we get them to brush them sometimes. And yeah, she's a really lovely girl.
So character-wise, is she very gentle?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and Daffodil as well.
And Daffodil is
Yeah.
as well. They're very
Yes.
gentle.
Yeah.
They do fight sometimes though.
Do they?
get the odd headbutting going on.
Yeah,
They
that's
play.
amongst
Yeah, they
themselves,
play
yeah.
rather
Yes.
than-
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah, we're hoping to foster a couple more in time, aren't we?
Yes.
Get a couple
We're looking
more
forward to
goats.
that, yes.
Yes.
They're very popular with the children because they're just so soppy. And they love the children. They just love being stroked and petted. So the kiddies are very fond of them.
Yeah, I think we've just had some funding come through, haven't we, to get more goat fencing. So hopefully we can extend the paddock and get a couple more. Because the more goats there are, the happier they are, definitely.
Yeah.
So they appreciate being in like little packs.
Yeah, I
More,
think
more,
so.
more the better.
Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
keep one on its own, really.
No.
But
No.
yeah, so buttercups, hopefully we're looking to foster. So we're
The
gonna
goat sanctuary.
Yeah.
Right, so
Goat
Buttercups is the
sanctuary.
goat sanctuary that
Yes,
we've got
at
these
Bournemouth
from.
on Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing place.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you say they headbutt each other. Do they ever hurt each other?
No, it's
No?
play. Yeah.
It is
It
play.
doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was
it's
going to
play.
say.
It can be quite noisy.
Goats have amazingly hard skulls, so you can hear them going bang, but they're playing and it doesn't affect them. So if you or I did that, it would be like an ouch moment, but they're just doing it affectionately. They are very friendly towards each other, aren't they? They do love each other very much.
And they're popular with the residents as well,
Yes.
aren't they? And they get
Yeah.
visited by the residents quite regularly. So, yeah.
And let's move on to the alpacas. So let's go through the names. Tell me the names of them.
Oh gosh, Pepe, Luigi, Gizmo, Mario, Max, Idris, Dreyfus. Who am I missing? Romeo. 8 of them. We've got 8
I was
boys.
going to read it off.
I was going to say, yeah. I was going to say, you can read it. You can read it.
I did practice as well. I still didn't get them all. Yeah, but no, we've got 8 boys and they're lovely.
Wow. And what are they like? Tell me about their characters.
Ah, well. You're asking us.
Go for it, Carol.
They're adorable. They really are the sweetest little things. But they've got different personalities, different characters. They're just like humans. They've got different traits and they behave differently. But the residents like that. There's some cheeky ones in there. Idris is one of the younger ones and he's definitely one of our cheekier ones. As is Max, I think, isn't
Yes,
he?
yes, he's a rascal, yes.
But the residents quite like that. They will adopt, that's their alpaca for their stay with us. So they all come and walk with us and they say, can I have my alpaca?
Yeah.
They get very fond of their alpaca.
Mm.
But there's some that are really docile, that we walk with more nervous members of the public, and some that are quite strong and good leaders. So they're different characters. They're all very interesting.
Because they get quite a nice bond sometimes, don't they, residents and the alpacas?
Yeah.
If they have the same animal every week,
Yeah.
they do tend to sort of build up a bond.
Yes.
Don't they?
Yeah,
Like I say, very
definitely.
different personalities,
Yeah.
and they tend to sort of find an animal that's similar to them. And yeah, it's good. They're
A
very
lot
good
of-
for the residents.
A lot of the residents here for a 12-week stay, aren't they? So
Yeah.
they have 12 weeks of coming along,
Yeah.
getting to know their alpaca just better and better each week, and they have a real bond, don't they?
Yeah,
It can be
absolutely.
quite sad when a resident leaves to
Yeah.
see them saying goodbye to their alpaca, because they
Yeah.
have
Formed a
wheedled their
bond.
way into their hearts, haven't
Yeah.
they? Mm. Beautiful animals.
Because we've had some residents get quite involved as well, haven't we? Like helping us with the cleaning and sort of day-to-day stuff as well. And yeah, they get really, really
Yeah.
involved. And then we do miss them when they go. don't we? So-
Yeah.
You can watch the progress of the residents with the alpacas
I
as well,
think
can't
so,
you? They're
yeah.
quite
Yeah, I agree,
nervous
yeah.
and perhaps a little
yes.
more frail when they first come and join in the walking sessions. But towards the end of their stay, they've got a lot more confidence. They're more engaging with the animals, and a lot of them do get involved in what we're doing. don't
Yeah, they love the cleaning, and because even if you're not an animal person, they come here, and I mean we've got 15 acres here. The grounds are beautiful, so I think the residents just love being out in the fresh air, don't they?
Yes.
It shifts your
Mm.
It's a big
focus.
benefit.
Because you're so busy concentrating on your alpaca, making sure they're okay and they're happy and calm. Yeah, they just forget what's going on for
Yeah,
them. So
it's a
it's quite
zen
nice,
moment.
really. Because we're not therapists. We, we just take them out and small talk about the weather, whatever's going on. So, but it's lovely.
Mm.
So out of the alpacas, let's ask, which one is the naughtiest?
Idris.
Idris.
Say
Idris. Okay.
He is one of the youngest.
All right, okay.
He's about to be 4. Him and Dreyfus
All
are
right.
about to be 4. Idris is a rascal, but he will calm down, won't he?
Yeah.
Max used to be a rascal, but he's calmed down now.
So what kind of things does Idris do that makes him naughty?
Grab the food bucket.
Yes. Try and-
jumps up on his hind legs.
Try and
every now
eat
then.
every other alpaca's food.
Yeah.
They're naturally
way.
really nosy and inquisitive, so they like
Yes.
to charge across the field and see what's happening over there,
Yeah.
and somebody's driving down the road, so they charge over to the road to see who that is. Do they know them? And it's normally Idris that's leading
Yes,
it, isn't
yes.
it?
And I don't know if you find this, but when you take the public out for a walk, after the hour, he just knows when the hour's up. Right, I'm done now.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and you can get hauled straight back to the paddock. So yeah, he's very cheeky, but he's lovely.
Yeah.
But they came to us, Idris and Dreyfus, in lockdown. So for the first few months of their lives, they only saw sort of a couple
Yes.
of us, didn't they? So
Oh,
they
yes.
took a while to get used to the public. So they're a little bit jumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
But if people are nice and calm and grounded with them, they pick up on that. So yeah, he's definitely
Yeah.
coming along.
And Dreyfus is a softie, isn't he?
Yes.
They're the same age, him and Idris, but Dreyfus doesn't stick up for himself.
Oh,
He's a real baby, isn't he?
oh dear, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bless him.
What happens then?
Well, he gets pushed off his fair share of food, but we do very well, don't we, making sure he gets his quota. He needs to stick up for himself a bit, but hopefully as he gets older.
Yeah,
He'll
he's very
manage
friendly,
that.
isn't he? He
He
doesn't mind
is.
being stroked. Where
No,
some are quite
he's
aloof, some
lovely.
don't really like being touched very much, but he's very
Yes.
cuddly.
Yeah.
So when, who would you say is I don't know, the sensitive one out of these?
I think Mario is phenomenally friendly. Would you say caring?
He's very
I think,
mild and
yes,
gentle.
yes, I
isn't he?
think he's quite sensitive.
Because you sometimes get residents from local care homes come as well, just for a meet and greet, so the ladies and gentlemen can come and feed the animals. And Mario's very good because
Yes.
you know he's going to be calm and you can get quite close to him.
Yes,
can't
he's
you?
very gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the alpaca you'd give to someone that wasn't very confident as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's got a lovely temperament.
He
hasn't
hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And which out of them is the one that causes the most trouble?
None of them cause any trouble.
Are you sure?
No, they're all super.
Some days are livelier than others, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
The wind, they get quite
Yes.
lively, don't they, in the wind?
Yes.
In the wind?
Yes.
What happens in the wind?
They're not keen on wind, high
Right,
winds.
okay.
They're good in cold temperatures and they're very good in hot temperatures,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Very
But,
tolerant.
yeah, we don't walk them obviously if it's too hot. But with the wind, they get it in their ears and they don't like it. They get a bit jumpy and lively. But yeah, the most trouble, I don't know, Luigi doesn't take any rubbish, does he? We've got our little Luigi, he's the oldest one, but he's the smallest. But yeah, he can be a little bit grumpy. But
Right.
yeah, he's still a gorgeous boy. And when we got the babies, he was very protective of them, wasn't
Yes,
he?
he
Sort
was.
of made sure that they were introduced by the other, accepted by the others. And
And you say, is he the oldest one? Did I hear that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he's the oldest one, so he had that kind of.
Yeah.
yeah, they don't mess with him, do they?
No.
Yeah,
No.
But he's lovely. You get a little kiss on the nose if you're lucky.
Yes,
Yes,
you do get
they do
kisses.
But you
nose
can't
bumps.
touch him. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to.
You won't let you touch him.
He's not
No,
allowed
he
to
doesn't
touch him.
No. So is he the kind of like the leader of the pack, or
No, Pepe's the leader.
Pepe's the
Yeah.
leader of the pack?
But
I think-
there's only a day between them.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're both 7. But Pepe's the day younger. But
Yeah.
they're both 7.
Okay. And as leader of the pack, what does that look like for Pepe? What does he do that makes him leader of the pack? That you know it's
He's
him.
very unusual as a leader of an alpaca pack in that he leads from the back. So when we're on a walk, where I've walked other alpacas, various other places, the alpaca leader tends to lead at the front and the whole herd follow. But Pepe leads from the back,
Yeah.
doesn't he? So you walk at the back if you have Pepe, but all the time he's scanning his herd. And I find it amazing that he does that
He's
because
very
it's not what an alpaca leader, I
Yeah.
think,
He sort
usually does.
likes to be able to see everyone, doesn't
Yes,
he? He panics.
yeah,
And,
yes.
yeah, if he can't see everyone, so
Yeah.
yeah, he likes looking from
Yes.
the back. And also if the vet comes, he stands in front of the rest of them. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so
it's very
Does he?
protective.
Yeah.
Very
if you come up in the
protective.
evening, sometimes you have to come up for whatever reason, and yeah, you have to kind of get past him to get to the others. He is very protective, but I mean, he's fine with us, isn't he?
Yes.
He's not
I-
aggressive or anything.
I think he's amazing
He's wonderful.
as a leader.
He's a good alpha.
If you go up to the paddock, he'll be the one at the gate, just making sure that you're all right to come near his herd.
Will he?
He's always the one that's standing there to attention.
And if dogs come as well, we had
Oh,
a
yeah.
dog get off the lead recently. Lovely little puppy, but
Mm.
he was in charge. He was running after this dog, wasn't he?
Was he running after the
I
dog?
was absolutely amazed. Yeah, I was out with residents. It was a lovely dog, and the lady was very apologetic. But yeah, it was. He was at the front. Whereas you'd think they'd run away, he was protecting them from the
Protecting
dog. So you've got to respect that. I think.
Takes his job very seriously,
Yes, he
doesn't
He
does,
does.
doesn't
He
he?
takes it all very
Yes.
seriously. But
He's
no,
quite
they're
a
gorgeous.
serious
Yeah.
chap.
Yeah, we're very lucky. So.
Yeah.
So when you're like looking after alpacas, what are the do's and don'ts? Would you say when you're looking after them and caring for them?
They're not as tactile as they look as if they ought to be. I mean, they're fluffy, gorgeous little things, and you just want to grab them and hug them. But they don't really like being touched. Because they're prey animals, they're naturally quite nervous and defensive. So we don't go anywhere near their face. We try and interact with them slowly and gently and nice and peacefully when we're bridling them up and getting them ready for walks and things. But generally you don't stroke them as much as you would like to. You would
Yeah.
just love to hug them. But they'll let you stroke down their necks and across their backs. So as long as you're nice and calm and gentle around them, then they'll be absolutely fine, won't they?
We went on a course, didn't we? And the
Yeah.
lady said the best way to get on with an alpaca is to actually stand with your hands behind your back so that they feel automatically comfortable. They know that you're not going to grab
Pounce
them.
on them,
Yes, yeah. So it takes them a while to get used to you, but when they have got, because they're used to the three of us, aren't they? They're just lovely, but you can see members of the public. You have to say, like, don't try and be their best friend from the outset, because they'll take a while on a walk to get used to their walker, won't they?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just boundaries, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like respecting their physical boundaries. So, that's quite.
And I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that you don't go anywhere near like their head or stroking their head. Is that right, or is that wrong? What happens then? Why is that?
I think, isn't it because they're prey animals? They
Right.
don't like anyone near their eyes.
Mhm.
So you don't tend to touch their heads. Just sort of gently stroke their necks and sort of their shoulders. Really, yeah. Just because I think it just makes them nervous. I think anyone.
Yes,
Touch your head.
We put a harness on for them to walk, so it's a little harness that goes over their face. But they're so wonderful. You just talk to them and tell them that that's what you're going to do. And if you offer it up to them, they almost walk into it. But if you go and try and grab them, wrestle them into position, they won't like that at all.
Never go into battle with them. So it's all cooperation, isn't it, really? Rather than training, they cooperate with us. That's why we only do sort of maximum 2 walks a day, because it's all sort of on their terms, really, making sure they're happy. And they do enjoy their walks. They know their routine. They're all ready by the gate to go. But I think if we did any more than that, they'd not like it, would they? So it's all with cooperation.
So they've got their set routine,
Yeah.
and they know what they're doing.
Makes them feel safe, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So they go out sort of similar times a day. Like I say, we talk to them so they can monitor them. There's so many calls,
Talk to them a lot. Yes.
Talk to them a lot. But again, it's nice to residents. They don't have to talk to us. They can talk to their animal when they're out.
And they talk back to us. They do a wonderful hum.
Lovely
lovely hum when
Do
we go
they?
to yes.
Yeah.
When we're up putting their bridles on, they all do their little hum to us in the morning, and then we walk around like idiots copying them.
Right, okay. And that's a good thing, the hum.
Yes. Oh yes,
that's
if
a
they're
good
humming
thing.
a lot, you can tell if they're getting agitated, can't you? Because it gets sort of more and more sort of shrill.
Goes
but
up a pitch.
But I think the happiest alpaca is a quiet alpaca.
Yes.
Head down, eating grass. Then, all right, all is well.
All is well with life.
Yes.
That's all they need.
Absolutely.
That's all they need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do know that, is it a yearly event that they have to be sheared?
Yeah.
What is that like?
Oh, I hate shearing day. Yeah, we stay out of the way.
Do you?
Yeah, we've got a lovely guy come and he does it. Yeah, with 2 ladies. It's a team of 3. Because it looks awful when it's being done. They sort of make quite shrill noises. They don't like it, but it has to be done for their health. So he's amazing, isn't he? He comes and does it.
Yeah.
And, we just stay out of the way. We don't want to be associated with shearing.
It takes about 10 minutes per alpaca.
Right, okay.
And it's amazing if you stand at a distance and watch that it is so they know exactly what they're doing and they take minimal time, and the animals are distressed the least amount of time that they need to. But they're just not used to being manhandled, are they?
No.
They have to be moved and, rolled over from one side to another, and they're not used to that. But I think by the time they shear the last alpaca in the herd, the last ones to be done sort of twig what's being done and how much better they'll feel when they've lost this healthy, heavy hot fleece when that's gone. So yes, it's just a 10-minute.
But he's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah,
because we're chickens. We all stand there at the bottom of the paddock and
but they know what they're
watch
doing.
from afar. But he's amazing to watch. He's very respectful of the animals.
Yes, totally.
And he gets it done as quickly as he can. He's lovely.
And they
lovely
do love
guy.
it once they're done, don't they?
Yeah.
They feel lighter, definitely happier. They're more tactile as well once they've been sheared.
Yes, and here we have a lovely fleece.
Is that from one alpaca?
It's half a fleece from
This is actually the offcuts. It's what we call the second. So it's down their legs and across their tummy, the bits that we wouldn't use as a fleece. But it's really good as a slug repellent or on your garden. I'm using it on my garden and it's really very good. But this is just the little offcuts that wouldn't be used.
Bird nesting material.
Actually, stop weeds growing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing stuff. It's hypoallergenic. It's lovely. Really
And it does decompose. It will rot down and form a lovely compost on your garden.
And out of the 8 alpacas we've got, which one protest the most when it comes to shearing time?
Gizmo, I think.
Is it Gizmo?
Yeah,
I haven't heard about Gizmo. What's Gizmo like?
Oh, he's lovely. Gizmo normally, if we go on walks with the public, I tend to keep Gizmo at the front because he takes it all very seriously and he won't let anyone else pass him. So I have Gizmo at the front, it's great, and if the other alpacas try and overtake, he'll just spit at them and get them out. So he's my baby, I love him. But yeah, he doesn't like being sheared. He lets out this really high-pitched squeak, doesn't he? None of the others do it, but yeah, he hates it. But he knows it's got to be done. But yeah, probably Gizmo.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned there about spitting. So they spit?
It's very rare.
Okay.
It's usually each other. But yeah, because they're related to camels. They're all part of the camelid family. But yeah, it's normally a bit of air and grass, which doesn't make it any less of a shock. But yeah, generally it's normally a little warning to each other, and they don't want to spit at us, do they?
No.
They don't want to use the energy, so they normally give warning signs, like a gurgling sound in their throat or tip their head back. But yeah, sometimes you might get up. We've all had it.
You'd have to do something really annoying
Yeah.
to an alpaca for them to spit at you, really.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Yes, like continue patting them on the head.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Asking for trouble then,
Yes,
aren't you?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't do it. You know,
No,
if-
not for fun.
No,
Not
no, they
unprovoked.
wouldn't do it just like, oh, let's just do this. No, there has to be a cause. But
Yeah, but if they're really angry, like if they're fighting, which they don't tend to do now, do
No.
they? But it's like a green sludge that can come up, which is because they sort of chew the cud, don't they? They're similar.
You're making it sound good.
Yeah, but that's if they're really annoyed. But yeah, that's quite like green slime.
Really rare. Hardly ever at all. Really.
Hardly ever sure. But when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, you can tell when they get
And between the goats and the alpacas, maybe a little bit of an unfair question. Do you have a preference as to who is easier to walk, goats or alpacas?
Oh, they're very different walks. Jane's our chief goat walker.
Yeah.
She's a goat master.
Get that put on the
yes,
Yeah.
on my gravestone. I think the goats, you always know what you're going to get with the goats. With the
Yeah.
alpacas, it can vary a lot on whether it's a windy day, whether they've had enough to eat. I don't know, the goats.
They're
I
very
think are
empathic
very-
creatures, the alpacas, and they really pick up on the vibe of the walkers. So if we've got a boisterous bunch of teenagers or something, then they will be quite boisterous as well.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a nice sedate bunch of residents that they've known for a little while, then it's a nice calm walk.
Yes.
Whereas the goats generally, it's a nice
yes.
sedate
The
experience.
goats are very
isn't it?
tolerant. So when we have young children on goat walks, Gertrude and Daffodil are just so tolerant. They'll have their ears played with and tickled and pulled, and their goatee beards played with, and they just don't react other than they seem to smile, don't they? They just enjoy being taken for walks.
Yeah.
And yes, I think they're very easygoing, whereas sometimes you have to stand back and think, what kind of mood are the alpacas in today? But
That's why we call it experience.
yes.
You never know.
With that word.
Yeah, it's a good experience. Yeah.
That kind of sums it up, doesn't it? Because you never know what you're going to get, right?
I'm not selling it.
I was gonna say-
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, sorry.
There's no two walks that are the same. They're different every time, aren't they?
Yeah, but I love it if you get a member of the public who's nervous, or it might be a birthday present and they're not sure if they want to be there or not, and then by the end of the hour they don't want to leave. You know, and that's
They're in
great,
love with
isn't
their
it?
alpaca.
Yeah.
Because we let them, they come in the paddock at the end and they can feed the animals and just hang out with them, get the hose pipe out, don't we, in like hot weather, and people don't want to leave.
Hose the alpacas down rather than the walkers.
I was going to say, just to clarify.
But yeah, generally, people just love it.
Wow. And so with all of this stuff, I mean, we've got toys, we've got bags, we've got
Tea
towels.
tea towels,
Pom-poms.
Pom-poms.
Make lovely pom-poms.
Yes.
Okay,
Alpaca biscuits, little alpaca biscuits.
biscuits,
Yes.
and that, and we've got cups and mugs and
Yes.
and things, and
We've got a very healthy
Yeah,
looking
we've
gift shop.
Built
haven't
up
we?
quite a lot, haven't
Yes.
we?
Yes.
Yeah, we've got Ultimate Cakes, isn't it? Helen from the
Yes.
village, from the Alden village. She makes our biscuits. She's amazing.
so people go out and do their walks, and then they come back and they often buy something to do
Yep.
with the alpaca that they've
A
walked.
memento.
Yes.
A memento.
Yes.
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 And the residents can make things. They get ceramic things in the gift shop the residents have made. And, yeah.
And the walkers do get very attached to whoever they've walked with, so they very often want to come back and get a gizmo or
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
the biscuits all have their name on and they're the right colour, and we have key rings and little fridge magnets, and they have their alpaca which they can take home with them.
We do adoption packages as well, don't we? I
Yes.
think you can adopt an alpaca. I think you get a birthday card
Yes.
and you get a little fluffy, and people like that. That's quite popular. Yeah, and obviously the money all goes to the charity and helping care for the animals and the residents, most importantly. So,
Sure. Yeah.
so that's quite popular.
So the alpacas get walked through the Woodland Walk,
Yes.
which we got a massive site here, and that. Is there any area on the estate that they really like and they linger, or they like you want to move them on because you've got things going on in time, or are they like this is a favourite place of them when they're not in their paddock?
You know what I'm going to say. Well, when we were the residents,
Yes.
we were allowed to go all over the site.
Yeah.
Whereas with the public, we tend to obviously stay to the non-therapeutic side. But yeah, there's a load of bushes near the offices where they love. You'll see there's a big bald patch, and that's where they chuck themselves in the bushes and
Yeah.
take them out. The
They
residents
love a jump
it.
and a scratch,
Yeah.
don't they?
So it gets into trouble. But yeah, that's their favourite bit. We have to move them on after a while, don't we?
Yeah.
And I guess what you've said about alpacas on their terms, that can be quite challenging sometimes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
also, just
Yeah.
to make it like it's their choice.
Right, okay.
So you give them a little tug so they
Uh-huh.
know they need to move, but they'll move when they're ready. So
Okay.
yeah, which is generally.
So we're very lucky. We've got a lovely bunch of volunteers that work with us, so we don't walk on our own because it is quite a lot of alpacas to watch.
Yes.
And people to keep an eye on. So we walk with a volunteer who helps keep an eye on everybody's safety and make sure that everybody's enjoying it equally.
Yeah.
So we're quite lucky in that respect, aren't we?
We've built up an amazing team now, haven't
Yes,
we?
phenomenal.
Yeah, obviously during COVID and just after COVID there was just a couple of us, but now we've, I don't know, how many of us, 15, 20 of us all together with volunteers and
There's quite a few
front
of
of
us.
house staff, and there's quite a big team now. But yeah, we've got some great volunteers, all walks of life. We've had residents come back and help as well,
Yes.
haven't we? Which
Yeah.
has been amazing.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good.
I think it has to be they have to be sort of left for 6 months and they can come back and help. But yeah, it's great. Couldn't survive without them, really.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
I was going to say it's an important part of the life of the being here and the alpacas and the residents working with the alpacas. It's important on that.
Yeah.
And I've noticed down here, just moving slightly on, is that you've brought in one of these, which
Yes.
is a frisbee.
Frisbee.
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, you need to speak to John, really. It's
Yeah.
his baby, isn't it? Yeah. Disc golf. Yes.
So there's disc golf as well.
We're very lucky because we've got a fantastic course and we're one of the few in Kent. So you can come and play all round the grounds and the course is all marked out. And John will give you instruction on how to throw the frisbee, but it's quite an art form.
Yes.
It is. I have to say I've actually had a go and
I've
throwing
actually had
the
a go.
frisbee and they're big baskets that you catch them in.
Yes.
And there are just too many trees in the way sometimes. And that, so it takes a long time.
I did it with
That's
my
the
grandson and he
challenge,
thought
yeah.
it was hysterical. That Grandma was so useless. Yeah, it's good fun. Good
They're
fun.
good fun.
Yeah, and you do it in all weathers as well, so it's
Yes.
brilliant. Again, for
Okay.
the residents, it's great to come out, get in the fresh
Mhm.
air, and
Yeah.
so it's very popular. But it's huge apparently in the Netherlands, isn't it? And
And the
sort of
States.
New Zealand and
Yeah.
the States, and it's sort of up and coming here as well. Yeah, because I'd never heard of it until John sort of
Yes.
set up the course. So yeah, it's really popular.
And it is just literally a frisbee.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's quite
That
a lot
you
of skill
throw.
to it. Yeah, I think you have different weights.
But yeah,
Yes.
it is
Yes.
just like
I'm not
golf.
sure.
They're different. So you've got different clubs that you have different frisbees.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's a putter frisbee and a driver frisbee, and they go different distances,
Yeah, it's a whole
different
thing.
weights.
I know,
it's very
different
complicated.
words.
Wow.
Mm.
But it is really popular.
I didn't know that. I just thought it's chuck a frisbee and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's what I do. Yeah.
Chuck
But
a
it can be
frisbee.
played at any level. I can just chuck a frisbee, or John can do it with great skill and
Okay.
adeptness.
And we have a lot of scout groups come as well, don't we? Scouts and brownies, and they quite like
Yeah.
frisbees, and they chuck them at each other if we're not careful. But generally in the basket, they enjoy it. Yeah.
And there's also the archery as well.
Yes.
So we have
Yep.
archery on site as well, and that's
Yes.
also part of Kenward Place. And have you had a go at the archery?
I haven't.
No, none of us have.
I've
That's
done
bad,
it before
isn't it?
elsewhere, but
Yeah.
I know residents that have had a go, and yeah, they love it. Yeah,
Mhm.
again, it's popular, isn't it?
Very
Very
popular.
popular.
Yeah.
Like with the conferences they have here, and
Yeah, we very often do team building days, so we'll have people come from different organisations and they'll do one of the activities in the morning and have a bit of a conference, and then they'll do another activity in the afternoon. So we have the option that they could break up into smaller groups and all go and have a go of the different activities, and that works quite well.
So you can book out a day and come and do the different things like the alpaca
Absolutely.
walks,
Yeah.
disc golf, have
Absolutely.
your conference, a bit of archery,
Yeah.
and just enjoy the day being here at Kenward Place and
Yes.
Kenward Trust. And
It's really popular.
It's a great day.
I think we had a load of doctors come recently for a conference, and they loved it because obviously they had to work in the morning, then they could come out and do archery or alpacas, and then go back and do some more work. And I think the break, you're kind of more productive, aren't you?
Yeah.
Once you've had a break.
Yeah,
So
recharge
they were a
the
lovely
batteries.
group. Yeah, so it's a good idea for companies.
so when we look at Kenward and we look at this enterprise and that, one of the underpinning things about Kenward is about hope and giving hope. And a lot of what you've spoken about today is to do with hope and how the residents start to interact and how they start to change, and the alpacas come alongside them and just are with them. So for you, on a personal level, what does that hope look like for you? What does it mean to you?
And
Any
look to
idea?
Tanya.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Hope, what does it mean for me? Well, it's a wonderful place here. It's a privilege to work here. So hope for me is, positivity. There's always a solution. There's always opportunities. If you fail the first time, just keep going. And you've got to have hope, haven't you? So, But it really is, a privilege to work here, if I'm honest. I think we all feel like that, don't we?
Yeah.
I think there always has to be hope as well, because you can never go through it would be very unusual to go through your whole life without different cycles of you feel a bit on a downward path, but
Problems and good things.
Yes.
And,
because that's just what life entails. But to think, well, okay, a bit of a downward slope now, but there's always hope that
so
things will
get better.
get better. And I think working with the animals, there is a positivity, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Because they're so constant that I find I get here, spend time here with the animals, you completely forget
What's going on.
Yes, if you've got any problems in your life, you just forget all that because you're focusing on the animals. And they are constant, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think the residents find that really useful, that shift of focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just forget everything for an hour, come out, fresh air.
Takes you out of yourself because it makes you think of other things rather than everything being focused on what might be going wrong with your life or how you're feeling. Puts everything into perspective.
Definitely.
But I think that's the great outdoors as well, isn't it? As well as the
Definitely.
animals. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, what's hope mean for you?
Oh, I'm going to do an do some editing yeah, it's the potential for the future. It's something to look forward to, and the promise that things will get better. Wherever you are at the moment, there is always a better to head towards.
Wow. Just say thank you all very much for coming along and bringing all this wonderful stuff to do with Kenward Place and
A
the
pleasure.
alpacas and the goats and that.
We look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you out with the packers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I have
yes.
done alpaca walking.
Have you?
I have. I can't remember which alpaca I had. I do know I was in front, but and we were navigating some stairs and steps up in the woods,
Yes.
and that was interesting, shall I say? Yes, we had a bit of a false start and that, and I wanted to go forward, and the alpaca wanted to stay on the stairs. But so I have done the alpaca walk, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and
Excellent.
I have walked around and said hello to the goats as well. So.
Yes.
But I would like to come back and do that again. Yes,
Come on a goat walk.
that would be interesting. I haven't done that yet. I should do that. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.